We are OSW and we're here to make you feel sad and stuff. Boom, 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 boom. That worked out. We were in time.
Yeah, that worked out way better.
We synced.
Yeah.
Hello, Nogger U alumni. Welcome back to
Alums, they're gone. They're out the door.
Welcome back for another Nogger U exclusive movie review. I'm your host for a day, the new and improved Borstal Boy V1, and I'm joined by the most electrifying boy in video podcasting, Jay Hunter.
Meow, me, meow.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm fucking awesome, man.
Excellent.
I can't wait to do this.
Yes, this will be something. I hope you enjoyed our last movie review, the incredible Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park!
And
they ate me!
And they're psyched to hear our thoughts on Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Special thanks to Megabra Julian Gostelow, Jules, who chose this gem and who has a Ramona Flowers tattoo on his leg.
It's really impressive. It's like a comic panel with both video game and live action drawings on it. It's...
Holy shit. I have to say, so I have seen some tattoos where they try to do, like actual people.
Yeah.
And they look horrific. This is really good. Ramona looks incredible. Holy shit.
Yeah, well done. That
must have been
cool.
Expensive and timely and painful. That's badass, mate. So, before we begin, let's bring you up to scratch with a bit of background info.
Slate 1000, take one.
Released in Ireland, the epicenter of the universe, on August 25th, 2010.
Home place of Eamon Dunphy.
And based off the Scott Pilgrim graphic novels written by Brian Lee O'Malley, co-written, produced and directed by Edgar Wright.
Big bang of Edgar Wright off this film.
Absolutely. Who is mostly known for the Cornetto trilogy of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. Baby Driver, which I haven't seen.
I hear it's fantastic.
Yeah, and he is the writer for Arbel
Baby
Ant-Man.
Driver! Get your bottle and you see if it's clean.
Nice. Yes, and he also wrote Marvel's Ant-Man.
Well done, mate.
And was set to direct it, but quit.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Novelist Brian Lee O'Malley was terrified that Hollywood would completely fuck up his baby, but in the end, he said, fuck it, I'm an artist and I'm hungry. So, he took the money! And he has claimed that the ending is theirs.
Oh, okay. Because the first volume of the comic book came out, it was a smash hit, and then he immediately went to Hollywood to make the film. So both were in production at the same time, and the film was finished before the last comic came out.
Yeah.
So the comic was influenced by the film, which is fucked, you know?
Very strange,
Yeah.
isn't it?
But the ending of both is very similar.
Do you know what this is the exact same as? Game of Thrones.
Oh, God.
No difference.
The TV show will finish before the book comes out and will no doubt influence how the book is
totally.
written. Yeah.
Of course it has.
You punched me in the boob. Prepare to die, obviously.
Starring Michael Cera as Scott Pilgrim, best known for playing George Michael in Arrested Development, Superbad. All right, bloody Juno. This is the end. And playing Robin
I enjoyed that. Yeah.
in Lego Batman with Job, who plays Batman.
How dare you tell me how to parent my kid I just met? To the Batmobile!
Hot diggity dog!
Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Ramona Flowers. Best known for Ring 2, which probably right up your alley.
That was a fucking disgrace of a film. And I love The Ring and Ringu.
Final Destination 3.
I was like, which number?
Yeah.
7.
Death Proof. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
I enjoyed that and enjoyed the crazy finish.
She is in the remake of The Thing.
Okay.
And she has done Live Free or Die Hard and a Good Day to Die Hard. Our boy, his brother, Kieran Culkin. Yes.
It's like the name brand versus great value here.
This is like Tesco brand, like
The credible Culk.
who, believe it or not, is in Home Alone. He's like probably the younger kid.
I was like, is that Macaulay's stunt double?
Father of the Bride 1 and 2. She's All That. And The Cider House Rules, which is actually a pretty good movie. Ellen Wong. Yank. The Circle.
That's the knockoff of The Ring, is it?
Silent Night. The Void. And Glorious Ladies of Wrestling. Netflix's
Oh, wow.
Glow.
Wait, who is she in it?
Soya the Destroyer and Fortune Cookie!
Thank you. This movie received a 7.5 on IMDb, an 82% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So now that you're all up to speed, let us do it.
To it.
Not so long ago, in the mysterious land of Toronto, Canada, Scott Pilgrim was dating a high schooler.
Scott Pilgrim is dating a high schooler.
Act 1.
Curtain up.
Love the 8-bit intro, Universal, and holy shit, Zelda fairy music.
Okay. I got goosebumps twice in 30 seconds of the opening of this film. Maybe the strongest opening to any film I've ever seen. Okay, yeah, the 8-bit rendition of the Universal theme, which was amazing, followed by the intro music to A Link to the Past.
Yes.
My favorite video game.
Oh, me meow.
If you wanted my approval, sir, you've got it. Like, I'm done. This film is already a recommend. One of the lads is playing it on his DS. And you even get the musical chimes, like the open treasure chest for the door.
Diddle-diddle-diddle.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It is at this point I was thinking, I hope this movie isn't a cult hero just because of musical chimes and things like that, and that it's
From
like,
video games.
yeah, and that it's just a good movie. Let's find out, you know?
That's for me.
Hi.
Kick off, and we immediately find out that 22-year-old unemployed band member Scott Pilgrim is dating a 17-year-old schoolgirl who's Chinese. And I'm like, right, stop. Is he a heel?
I was like, 22 divided by 2 plus 7 is 18. So he's... Oh, and she's 17. Shit. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, come on.
You have to wait till next week.
Come
for her
on.
birthday.
That's creepy.
So this film was released in 2010, but what year is this? Because like Scott Pilgrim's on his computer.
It's like Windows 95 or something.
Yeah.
Do we actually know?
They don't say it, but Amazon.ca being new means it's probably 2002.
Ah, okay.
And it's
Okay.
hilarious that like you buy it online and then someone will come to your door with it.
Yeah, whoa.
Only one person can order at a time. Like. Also, I think it may be a bit of a jab at Canadians being behind the timer with really old stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because they're so high on, oh my God, she's from New York, she's from America.
Well, they do push that.
Oh, Steve, Sex Bomb.
The greatest band name ever.
Holy shit.
They're at band practicing. There's a very comic book look to the movie, you know, like paneling and sounds popping up on the screen like whums and bams and borts. I absolutely love how they made this look like a live action comic. this movie has style.
Oh my god. And then, yeah, it does take a bit of getting used to. It's quite jarring seeing live action plus on-screen graphics and that kind of thing. When they go into subspace and he has a dream sequence, they call it subspace, they use an 8-bit and then an orchestral version of the Great Fairy theme from The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And that's one of my favourite pieces of music ever.
It's gorgeous.
I was in love.
Kim tells Scott that he has other motives for dating Knives, which is to win back his ex. Man, that's also quite a heelish move.
I think Michael Cera is perfectly cast, but it is a weird scenario where this kind of ugly, dumpy weirdo is just like fighting off different hot girls.
It's very bizarre, isn't it?
It's very much this is a comic book adaptation aimed at blokes. And then Scott Pilgrim sees Ramona and he's immediately in love with her, transfixed. I thought it was amazing with the editing and writing, so no change to anyone's character. You can quickly go from making a girl that's your entire world Knives, and she's an annoying hindrance.
Yes.
Attack hug. Yeah, it's so cute. It's so cute.
Remember, you were supposed to meet me at the bus stop a half hour ago.
How can I possibly forget?
Pilgrim plays games with Knives. She looks like an awesome girl, and she absolutely marks out to his thing about Pac-Man, where he tells her that, did you know Pac-Man was originally called Puck-Man? And not just because he looks like a hockey puck, but because the pucka pucka is the sound that he makes. And I was like, man, you are a fucking geek. What does that make me that I know this also? Shit.
I love how this is edited because he's thinking of breaking up with her and the video game in the background is expanding it, giving the countdown 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, fantastic.
It's very, very clever little things like that all of the way through this movie.
We should,
Scott goes to an absolutely shite-looking party where he sees Ramona Flowers for the first time, falls in love with her immediately. Then he slowly creeps up to her, tries his Pac-Man spiel on her also.
Like a way worse delivery this time around.
He is shitting himself because she's hot, and she no-sells him completely, just basically tells him to fuck right off.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It was so weird. Like half of this film is teenage indie drama, and
But
then
they're 22.
yes, and then it goes into crazy video game fighting.
Yes.
So it's completely jarring, the two,
Very,
as opposed
very
to like Marvel, where it's all superheroes that stay in superhero mode the entire time, so the tone is consistent. Because these are like regular people, and then turn into superheroes. Very odd.
Amazon.ca, what's the website for that?
Amazon.ca.
Pilgrim orders a package from Amazon.ca and then sits at his front door waiting on it.
Because Ramona works at Amazon. That's why he orders it. So as soon as she comes in, he throws it in the bin. Ramona, she's just quite a pedestal character. Like she's aloof, mysterious, which I didn't like. And there's so many hot girls in this film. So why are you after this one? Because she has purple hair. By the way, she's a lot nicer in the comic book. In this one, she's quite cold, and standoffish and lame. Everything's lame. But in the comic, she's much nicer.
Okay, good, because she's not a nice person. I don't know why he likes her. And she's quite pretty, but like, she's not crazy hot,
If I say yes, will you sign for your damn package?
So yeah, 8 o'clock?
So yeah, they have an awkward walk in a park. And then they magically float throughout the air and go through a door that's in the middle of the park and end up back in her place. She gets undressed and then randomly changes her mind about having sex, and they just lie in the bed.
It's so weird.
Very strange.
You don't know what's actually happening. Is this a hallucination? Because it's not really in reality. It's this weird comic book reality.
Yeah. I mean, like, I would imagine that in his mind, he is so fucking smitten that he feels like he's walking on air. very jarring how like things.
If he thinks
just
this is
randomly
mental
change.
ward kind of stuff.
This song is called I Am So Sad. I am so very, very sad. Goes a little something like this. Thank you.
We have an awkward meeting of Scott's sister, her boyfriend, Knives, and Ramona at the Battle of the Bands. Big pussy Scott Pilgrim can't cope and he runs away.
By the way, Scott, bit of a loser, living at his gay roommate is nice because it's all Wallace's stuff.
Everything is his except for one poster.
But he's only got one bed, so they share the bed, and usually with another bloke or two other blokes.
Also, he lives right across the road from his parents, which is not the coolest thing in the world.
Is it like, you know, an overworld, like in the Mario 3 or Super Mario World map, where there's only like 20 places in the world? So, here's my house, there's my apartment.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the plot of the movie is Scott Pilgrim needs to defeat all of Ramona's ex-boyfriends in order to date her. 7 evil exes.
What did you think these were?
Kisses? 7 little kisses?
7 deadly X's.
Evil X number 1, Matthew Patel. During his band's song, Matthew crashes in and challenges Scott to a duel where they have a heavily choreographed and, in all fairness, a badly worked fight. But it also has a musical interlude, which is kind of cool.
The Bollywood interlude. He's the first one, so they have to get the gimmick over. So he's booked strong enough, but he's also a jobber. So he gets a lot of time, but he gets jobbed out.
May I just say, he looks like an absolute twat. He looks like someone who I'd never speak to.
Hey, pirates are in this season. Just Scott Pilgrim throws a symbol at his face and then
Bam!
KO, which I marked out huge.
Evil X number 2.
Lucas Lee.
Oh my god. I marked out, Jay. Captain America!
This is 2010, so is it the Human Torch?
Holy shit.
You really think you stand a chance against an A-lister, bro? Some competition you are.
My absolute favourite part so far. He played that jock douchebag perfectly.
He's all the worst aspects of any actor put together.
Yes.
Brilliant. What a great heel. Scott Pilgrim gets his ass kicked by him. He breaks out all of his stunt doubles, which is very cool as well.
Great. He's such a cunt that he's not even willing to do the dirty work on his own.
Scott plays to his ego by saying, hey, there's a lot of railings there. I bet you can't shred like you used to. And he, of course, takes the bait because there's girls watching, builds up head of steam, and then crashes and burns and leaves behind lots of change.
Bit of a jobber, but it works perfectly for the type of person that he is.
I love this gimmick of having 7 evil exes. That's like 7 great opportunities for 7 cameos. Some of them, yeah. Some of them,
yeah, definitely.
Wow. Yes. He totally bailed.
I didn't get his autograph.
Evil X number 3.
Todd Ingram at Clash at the Demon Head.
Superboy!
Oh my god, the Man of Steel.
It's Brandon Ruth himself.
And his power is being a vegan.
He's vegan, which is amazing because being a vegan makes you better than everybody else.
That's great.
It is awesome.
What a heel. I felt really bad. Like, he is dating and in the band with Scott Pilgrim's ex-girlfriend.
Envy.
Yes. Jeez, what a loser she is. It's like, yeah, let's get my ex-boyfriend down. Let's pick a fight with him. But you're a Hollywood movie star. What are you dealing with him for?
She's incredibly famous.
You're fucking dating Superman.
Yeah, Superboy. Superboy.
By the way, anyone listening, we say that because we went to go see Man of Steel in India. And,
Twice.
Yes, because there's not much going on. And there's some loud audience members, and one of them, obviously on their phone, talking to whoever didn't get into the cinema, and he just marked out huge for Superboy.
And we're still saying it 12 years later. What a cool gimmick. He's using his vegan superpowers to knock the bollocks out of Pilgrim.
And, oh my God, what a heel. Jeff Jarrett level. He knocks the blue out of Knives' hair.
Oh my God, that's heelish.
Holy shit.
That's really fucking...
Like, this is an unprompted punch to the face.
Yeah.
In the comic book, it's actually another band member, a girl, that does it instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so he kicks the shit out of Scott over and over, punches him into an alleyway, and...
they also have a bass battle where he proceeds to kick the shit out of Scott. Scott's not a good bassist. He's very much... I'm gonna have a pick and I'm gonna hit one string and go gong 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 gong. And Todd here is like, well, he's not quite that good, but he is 10 times better. Like,
so he's got these vegan powers, and how does Scott overcome it?
By faking him out and getting him to drink coffee that's half and half, which then the vegan police come in and strip him of his vegan powers, which then allows Scott to kill him.
Vegan police is amazing. It's like Tom Jane and Skinny Wolverine.
You once were a vegan, but now you will be gone.
Vegan?
Oh my God. We actually get a quick snafu where he bumps into one of his ex-girlfriends. It's Anne. It's May and Egg.
Who's she?
Her? She gets like one of those mayonnaise packets, and she gets an egg, and she goes, oh
God.
She calls it a May and Egg.
Scott meets her, and she tries to attack him, and he punches her, and she's like, dude, you punched me in the boob. And then she pegs it off again. It's good.
You punched me in the boob. Prepare to die, obviously.
Evil X number 4.
Rox in the comic, Roxy Richter here. She originally had a katana sword, and in the movie she uses like her belt as a whip.
Which is way cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Way cooler. Very like Ivy from Soul Calibur. she has a sword and she can like flick it and then it turns into like Lynx. That's a sword whip.
Nice.
Very cool weapon.
And this is the first fight that Ramona gets in, tries to stop it, and she ends up fighting in it as well, which is cool. Hey.
And she turns into Triple H. She has a sledgehammer.
Your precious Scott must defeat me with his own fists.
I don't think I can hit a girl. They're soft.
You don't have a choice.
She literally takes control of Scott. How does Scott beat May and Egg?
So he's getting absolutely battered. She is going to kick him to death. And Ramona tells him, is like, Scott, her weak point is behind her knee. And so he just points up his finger, bunk, touches the back of her knee, and she crumples to the ground and has a death by orgasm, which is a good way to go out.
I was like, only okay if you're a woman. If it was a guy, it'd just be nasty.
And like, oh man, Undertaker, you are going to have a terrible night.
Hope you scotch guarded that coffin, mate.
Evil X number 5 and 6.
Kyle and Ken Katayanagi.
Or, as I like to call them, Bimmy and Jimmy. Because they literally have a double dragon.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many little game things in here, like Ivy from Soul Calibur, Double Dragon, Zelda.
So this Battle of the Bands, it's 2 bands playing at the same time?
Yes.
A rock off.
I think band is quite generous for what these 2 lads do. There is no music. It's just a pretty awesome Double Dragon
visualization. Yeah.
Oh, maybe they should have played the like Double Dragon song. Do you remember the Double Dragon cartoon that was out in the 90s? Fight for right, the right of the dragon, with the mark of the dragon. I love that show.
These twins get jobbed out pretty quick with their song.
So Bimmy and Jimmy have their massive evil beasts. Scott's band then play extra harder and they summon their like own monster and then the monsters fight. It kind of looks like Pokemon. It was like Hitmonlee a little bit. Their monster batters the twins. The dragons fall on top of them and they're dead.
And all their amps like blow up.
Oh my god, what a waste! Oh, look at the wall of amps. Also, he gets an extra life after beating the evil twins, which may or may not come in handy. Spoiler alert, it does.
Oh, it was pretty seamlessly done. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm getting a life. And he gets it. Yeah. Awesome.
What are you doing? Getting a life.
Obviously, it was expected, but I love that they use the Scott Pilgrim font and they have the graphics from it, digitized pixels, which they then use in the arcade game. It's all one glorious whole, Stephen. So they have a bit of strife where Michael Cera starts to get a bit more confidence and start telling Ramona to go fuck off. So there's a bit of dissension.
Smellless.
And that leads into your main event.
Scott Pilgrim! Hey! Buddy, welcome to the Chaos Theater!
It's your main event and final Evil X number 7, Gideon Graves.
Who offers Scott Pilgrim's band a record deal.
Yeah, oh my god, they turn on him so fast.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, because that's how it is.
Scott's band, they're all dressed in black and white, just like the Chaos Theater is done up to Gideon's liking. So they're being all conformos. And they even say, oh, we're here to sell out and stuff.
When he's making his way in to the club and he comes up to the bouncers and they're like, password. He's like, whatever. They're like, okay, go in. And like then he goes up to the second dudes and it's like, second password. Oh, okay, go in. It's like, yes. It's so angsty.
And Ramona's decided to go with him instead.
Before the fight kicks off, Scott tells her that he is in love, and then he powers up and he gets the power of Love's sword, which he uses to mow down through waves of baddies, which all turn into coins, which is a tribute to the European version of No More Heroes that came out on the Wii, because he had a massive sword.
That's right. Yeah.
And when you kill people in the US and Japanese version, just blood spewed out.
Yeah.
But in the EU version, coins. Yeah.
Which is also pretty cool.
By the way, that game was amazing. I love that game.
Except for the mowing.
Yeah, the like busy work. Yeah.
Although it's just a single fight, Knives comes out of nowhere and she wants 2 fights.
She wants to fight Ramona. It's very weird. To me, Knives is a total babyface.
Oh, she deserves so much better.
She's done nothing wrong.
She's kind, she's positive, she's supportive.
Yeah. So, like, during this fight, come on, Knives, let's fucking do it. Kill her and take your man, you know?
Although I think her hate is placed in the wrong place, as we'll find out.
Yes. Scott butts in and keeps the girls from fighting, tells them that he cheated on both of them with each other.
Asterix for Ramona, because he wasn't dating her. Definitely cheated on Knives, and he's a bit of a knob with Ramona.
Ramona's a bit high and mighty considering she went out with twins at the same time, you know? Like, that may be the cuntiest thing in the world.
Michael Cera says, is there any guy in this club you haven't slept with?
That's a heel move.
Yeah.
Even if the answer is no, I've slept with them all, that's a heel line.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a slut shamer. So, out of nowhere, Gideon knifes Scott through the heart and he kills him. As he falls, we get the Castlevania death sound. Awesome.
So good.
Yeah.
It's better than the Link to the Past one, was he? So they go into subspace and he has this kind of dream hallucination where he talks to Ramona and he actually gains a bit of wisdom.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, this would be great if I wasn't dead. And so he uses his one up. And I love that he has to start from his gaff again.
He has to work through the entire level in order to get back to the boss because there's no checkpoint.
I love that.
It's
I
great.
marked that so
However, if it was an actual game, I'd flip. I'd fucking flip. Especially if there's a cutscene. And there was a cutscene because Gideon had a speech that he has to get through.
And it just presses X at the earliest opportunity to skip it. And this time around, he does it kind of right. He apologized to Kim for being a dick and apologizing to the band. And he calls young Neil, you are now Neil. He's like, oh my God.
Young Neil, you have learned well. From this point forward, you will be known as Neil.
That was awesome. And he levels up with the power of self-respect.
This is very similar to in the comic book. They use a different word for it. It's like self-acceptance or something.
Okay.
And Ramona gets the power of love. It's a curious thing. Sword as well.
It's a force from above.
Makes one man. No.
We're just going to go through every song ever.
We are Sex Bomb, and we are here to watch Scott Pilgrim kick your teeth in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The boss fight. Gideon is slapping the shit out of him, and out of nowhere comes in Knives once more. So Scott has to talk her down so that she doesn't fight with Ramona.
By taking the blame, and
rightly so. And then we get 2-player co-op mode, and Knives and Scott team up on Gideon and they beat the shit out of him. It's really, really cool. He kicks his head off and kills him.
Oh, it's a Johnny Cage axe kick.
It's really good.
Explodes into money.
At which that point, his band members realize that they're not getting paid because Gideon is dead, and the singer drops to the ground and starts to pick up coins furiously.
I could swear young Neil picks something up and eats it. No. I hope it wasn't a quarter. Like. That's the 7 evil X's. Scott Pilgrim is free to date Ramona, but there's one extra bad guy.
Oh, me meow.
Dark Link shows up. Marked out so hard. Nega Scott here. And you think, oh my God, are we going to get another big boss fight? But cut to outside where the girls are waiting. The shutter pulls up. And Michael Cera and Nega Michael Cera are having a nice chat.
It was a very, very cool moment where the two of them walk out and they're like, yeah, I'll see you on Saturday. Yay! It's great.
What happened?
Oh, nothing. We just shot the shit. He's just a really nice guy. We're going to get brunch next week.
So there's no fight there. In the comic book, he has to accept that the Dark Link part is part of him. And that kind of spurs him on to go fight Gideon.
Oh, okay. So is Nega Scott the opposite of him?
If it's Dark Link, it should be, but it's actually the manifestation of him being a cunt, basically.
Okay, cool.
It's so weird that Knives is like, hey, yeah, you should go to Ramona. You know, you love her and you can be together. Because Ramona's saying you should be with Knives and walks off. So it's very much, which one is he going to go with? I thought it was always booked that he's going to end up with Ramona, but they make a strong pitch for Knives.
Which I think he should have. Even though the entire point of the movie was to kill all of her exes so that he gained the right to date her, I thought that when he copped on what was going on, that he would have been like, no, this is toxic. This is not who I am. Turns out that I've been fighting for someone else all along. And that is what the original ending was, Jay. He actually went with Knives. But the fans of the comics threw a strop and they had to change it. So yeah,
But the end of the comic wasn't out when the film came out, so you're still giving out about it. But it does render the film useless then, you know, although he grows and makes a adult decision, which is the growth in the arc.
Yeah.
It also, you wasted my time. You could have had this change of heart or realization without doing the 7 evil X's, so I can see what they're going for.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
just a couple of differences from the comic book and the movie. Since they're written at the same time, it does mean that it's extremely faithful adaptation, but just streamlining the main plot, the evil X's. The whole plot happens in a week in the film and it's a year in the comic books. And it discards comic book threads like Scott's job. He was a dishwasher. All of his family life. Kim's living situation. Also, you get more subspace, the dream sequences. At the end, in the comic book, Sex Bob-omb break up and form a new terrible band without him called Shatter Band. More people, including the band, have fights with Scott.
Okay.
This one, it's all about Scott.
Yeah.
You know? Including Knives' dad gets in there.
Nice! By the way, did you know that nega is the Chinese version of saying like, So if you're ever listening to like Chinese people talk, they will often go like, nega, nega. It's hilarious.
Welcome, negas! And that does it for this Knocker You.
And on that bombshell, we are banned. So, how did this movie do in the box office and critically, Jay?
I don't know. I'm hoping well.
So, this movie had a budget of $60 million. It grossed
180?
$47.7 million.
Oh, shit, man.
Ouch.
Oh, silver lining. This film is now a boy.
Yes, yes. However, it did go on to spawn Ubisoft's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I think most people said it's an enjoyable game.
The video game. Yeah, so it's a pixel art side-scrolling beat-em-up. I actually have it. I got it for Xbox.
It sounds great. Like, it sounds like something that we'd love.
I enjoyed it a lot. Problem is, every level way too fucking long. And it's like Super Mario Brothers 3 big. Like Streets of Rage, the whole game, you beat it about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And one level, 20 minutes. You know? The other thing I gotta mention is the soundtrack by that is done by Anna Managuchi, and it's fucking incredible. And you'll hear it throughout this review.
Thanks to Mega Broad Jules. Jay, tell us what he thought of the movie.
I will, sir. He says, yes, I'm ad-libbing. Cheers, lads. Okay, let's do it to it. It's my favourite film, and it's a massive nerdathon. And frankly, I'm a massive nerd. I was a fan of the comic books first and loved how they were handled with respect by Edgar Wright here. There's something in this for comic book guys, video game geeks, indie cinema beard strokers, romantics and all-out action movie fans, all wrapped up in a full meta jacket with an amazing soundtrack from the likes of Metric, Beck and Frank Black. If anything, it probably didn't do as well on release as it should because it was such a genre blender. People weren't really sure what it was. Yeah, couldn't agree more. I picked this for OSW partly because it has some brilliantly ridiculous fight scenes. It's essentially one big gauntlet match against a faction of proper heels, and the long-term booking is brilliant from the first jobber through to the final cunt boss. Also, Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Ramona Flowers, whopper. Stars, Abyss, Cross Arms, Farty Noise. Wonderful, mate. Thank you.
Step up your game, Scott. Break out the L word.
Lesbian?
The other L word.
Lesbians?
It's love, Scott. I wasn't trying to trick you.
So, Jay, what do you think about this movie?
I really enjoyed watching this film. I have to say, it came out about 15 years too late for me. The characters are quite angsty and dumb, teenage, flaky, kooky, which is why in my 20s and especially my 30s. I'm in Lesbians with you. I would love that if I was 15, you know. It would probably be my favourite film. Other thing I loved is that the soundtrack to the movie was awesome as well. Within minutes, it was on my phone. Tight editing, an impressive realisation of a video game film. Edgar Wright, he is a master of his craft. Holy shit, this film, it's edited, it's so slick.
He really likes
Holy
his
shit.
like fast cuts, like, you know.
It gets so much information done in a stylish way.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Nice.
So, thumbs up, recommend.
I would be quite similar in my thoughts here. I thought the movie looked incredible. Like, there are times where I'm like, this is gorgeous. It's weird, it's funky, it's very different. There's nothing like it at all. I really like how this movie is basically just a game. You are working through level 1 through 7, taking out bosses to get to the big bad boss so that you can win the girl at the end, which is basically the plot of every retro game. It's written quite well. There are a couple of bits where I did laugh. It was a very easy watch, but I hated every character except for Knives. I can't get over that. I can't cheer for any of these people. I'd say Knives and Wallace are the only two characters that I actually liked.
How come?
Wallace was funny and cool and not that much of a cunt. And Knives is nice. She's sweet. Clearly the biggest babyface in the entire movie.
I mean, why didn't you like the other characters?
I just thought they were all stroppy, angsty teenage cunts who are in their 20s who have no reason to be acting like kids. And that definitely did affect my liking of the movie. But other than that, like, everything else is a thumbs up. So overall, I did enjoy this movie. I liked it more second time round. I'd say if you're a fan of games and gaming culture, you should absolutely watch it. It's definitely worth a watch.
As a kayfabe thing, it kind of sucks that people have to explode and die if you want to date someone else. Like, there must not be a lot of people in the world. And Ramona, she says, oh yeah, I change my hair color every week and a half. You peroxide dye your hair and color it every week and a half. You must have Jushin Liger onion hair. It must be in bits.
Or Wurzel Gummidge. Hey.
I really enjoyed watching this film.
Yeah,
talking about it.
It was fun. Like, this is a fun movie.
Is this the best video game movie ever made?
I don't know. I think you're going to have to drag Mortal Kombat out of my hands.
Which
me
one?
Kicking and screaming.
So if you've seen Scott Pilgrim or read the comics, let us know what you think of the review and Scott Pilgrim and stuff like that. So we'll catch you next time. That's your line, Steve.
And with that, we will see you once again for another Nogger U exclusive review. For me, V1, it's a goodbye. And for Jay,
goodbye.
And always remember, a winner is you.
No.